mic, and when we're done with that, we're gonna all walk up to the bowl, and we're gonna see Robert's plaque, and then we're gonna have a moment of silence. We probably all have stories of how he got us out of a bind, leaned in real close, and with a low voice would let us in on some of the juicy gossip. Tipped us off to a great brunch place. Actually, this morning I went through my little text messages with him, and there was 3 excellent brunch places I'm gonna go try out.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby.
It's called Death is Nothing at All, and it's by Henry Scott Holland. I have only slipped away to the next room. I am I, and you are you. Whatever we were to each other, that we still are. Call me by my old familiar name. Speak to me in the easy way in which you always did. Put no difference in your tone, and wear no forced air of solemnity or sorrow. Laugh.
He would want it no other way than a room full of people talking just about him. He did love to be the center of attention in the best way possible. In honor of that, we would like to leave you with a few of our favorite Robert-isms.
This is so delicious.
Did you see that guy or woman? She was looking at me.
I look good in this photo.
I love a good happy hour.
He knew everyone on the lot, and then in the music business, and everyone on the streets, and in all the towns in all the world. One of his favorite things to do to me was show me his underwear. He would come in my office so proud. He would show me his Scooby-Doos, his Batmans, the pumpkins for Halloween, or Superman. He always got a huge kick when I told him I was taking him to HR. He would just say, "Girl, they won't believe you over me."
From sleepovers in Palm Springs with too many Reed cookies, is Heidi here? Don't eat her cookies. I loved your honesty. He would say things like, "Now, Tammy." When people were mean to me, he would whisper, "I never liked them." You loved your parents and your family, even though they were so far away. And when I would call you out for fighting with your sister on occasion, you would always tell me, "Oh, we'll make up." Like, "It's fine, Tammy." And he would say, "Okay, I'm gonna go now."
I'm gonna switch it up right now and sing you a song. I'm gonna sing one of Robert's all-time favorite songs from one of his all-time favorite movies, Titanic. Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go On. I'm just fucking with you. He'd be standing there in all his handsomeness, calling out my name, Belle, with that shit-eating grin of his, dressed in shorts regardless of the weather, wearing some crazy shirt with all the buttons undone down to his like belly button, a glass of wine or a cocktail in his hand, and he'd have his arms wide open for a big hug. I'm gonna miss those hugs.
Don't get me wrong, Robert was busy. He had a full-time job at the WB and a full-time gig when he got home. But somehow he managed to find time and show up for his friends in small and profound ways. My friend Allie fell ill in 2018 and went to the AER, and they admitted her in the hospital. She sent a simple text to her friend Robert that said, "They're admitting me." At the time, Robert was out with friends. He read the text, excused himself from his gathering, and drove an hour to Santa Monica to be by her side. He invested in people. He showed up.
One of Robert's favorite bands was The National, so I'm just going to read some lyrics to one of the songs that we felt emulates him. If you're ever sitting at the airport and you don't want to leave, don't even know what you're there for, send for me. If you're ever heartsick in an elevator full of bachelorettes, cornered in and it's taking forever, please don't forget. Send for me whenever, wherever. Send for me, I'll come and get you. Send for me whenever, wherever.
The night that it happened, when I returned home and fell into my husband's arms sobbing, my Scott teared up, looked me straight in the eye, and he said, "I'm so very sorry you lost your best friend." And it was that moment I was like, oh my God, he was my best friend. How did this guy sneak into my life and become this absolutely massive thing to me? But not just to me. I look around, it's like everyone's saying the same thing. He was somebody who was best friend. He made everyone feel special. All the time. And honestly, that was one of his best gifts.
I'm just so glad we're here to pay tribute to that silver-haired daddy of a fox. Silverhaireddaddy.com. And let me tell you, it took me a fucking year to learn how to say and pronounce and spell that last name of his, okay? Impossible. And then there was this bike ride that me and him and Dustin took, and again, we wore matching outfits there too. I don't know what was with the matching outfits, but he complied every time I asked him to, because that was him, right? He would do anything to make his friends happy.
And there is a poem for Jack to his dad. You can shed tears that my dad has gone, or you can smile because he lived. You can close your eyes and pray that he will come back, or you can open your eyes and see all he's left. Your heart can be empty because you can't see him, or you can be full of love you shared. You can turn your back on tomorrow and live yesterday, or you can be happy for tomorrow because of yesterday.
So I do definitely want to thank Robert's chosen family, his friends who put this together. He would have loved to hear this today. The rest, just like all of you, are stolen moments together, secret rendezvous, where I felt like the VIP of his life. I was the only one getting the inside scoop, the real gossip, the real Bill/Robert, who are you? He shared how he wanted to move closer to his mom and his sister. Oh, how he loved his mom. We all just felt like we were the VIPs. I had very few pictures of Robert because you always go, don't take a photo. They'll all be jealous.
A tiki cruise, many musical events, there was no end to the fun times we spent. I loved you like a brother from another mother, always very honest, but especially modest. Plenty of free parking tips and local advice. Once a right? He always knew the free parking, always.
If you're ever sitting at the airport and you don't wanna leave, don't even know what you're there for, send for me. If you're ever heartsick in an elevator full of bachelorettes, cornered in and it's taking forever, please don't forget. Send for me, whenever, wherever. Send for me, I'll come and get you. Send for me, whenever, wherever. If you're ever at a glass top table selling your ideas to swivel chairing underlings who just don't see it. If you're singing in a song museum without a drop to drink, and you can't even make eye contact